Whereabouts are we?
Sunnybrow.
Right, we're Sunnybrow, looking at yet another eviction. Just drove past, thought I'd better come in and have a look, see what's going on YouTube, eh? Stick their noses in here. Alright, mate. Right,
as an expense, unfortunately she's still financially liable for it, so any damages or anything like that would be all adjusted into the bill anyway, so you actually have no remit here. You're saying yourself, it's based on a falsity. Unfortunately, you've stepped outside of your uniform, you're no longer police. Although you put your helmets on, you're still no longer constables. I'm trying to inform you of that. I suggest what you do is contact your legal department to verify what I'm saying. And any constable wherever you saw would do it.
I've been in London. Who's the owner of the house then?
Glynis.
You like to go on camera, Glynis? Yeah, I'm called the Truth Machine from Darlington on YouTube and that. You alright, mate?
I'm getting there.
Have you already been evicted then?
Yeah, absolutely disgusting.
So what's the point of being here now? Are you carrying on with protesting that?
No, no vacant possession was taken place because this property is part of the property, and they were left within the confines of the property, so no vacant possession was taken place in the first place.
Wow. Well, what about the paperwork and stuff then? Was that all stamped? No, none of it was stamped.
Never seen it yet. It's supposed to be signed.
Yeah.
He knows. Oh.
Yeah, it's supposed to be stamped by the judge and all that, and you're supposed to have a signature.
I've never seen any paperwork.
You're supposed to have a signature by the clerk of the court as well to witness that the judge has actually signed it. Yeah.
No, we and the police said they were coming here to maintain civil breach of the peace. Sorry. In case there's a breach of the peace. Yeah. What you mean is they came to breach the peace. Yeah, well, it's intimidation, isn't it? At the end of the day, by the police. They did everything with the bailiffs to help them. Yeah. Not at any point did they help us. It's disgusting. It's disgusting the way the police are behaving these days. You know what I mean? They're almost like the SS of the government policy, isn't it? Which is what it is. Well, it's not even government policy; it's private policy, isn't it? Because it's the bailiffs themselves. It was about how many? About 15, 20 of them. Yeah.
You must feel awful being here, really, eh? Surely you must. You look fed up. So what's your name, mate? What's your name?
PC 2218.
PC 2218. Would you like to shake my hand? Yeah, of course I do. Because we're all human beings, aren't we?
That's right.
At the end of the day. And I don't know. It's nice to know how the police actually feel about this themselves. Like, how do you feel? Are you willing to talk about it? How do you feel about this?
Don't really know much about it though.
Well, there's no real legal paperwork being given to the people that own the house. They've just said that, and I'm sure you've heard it lots of times.
Something has been served, hasn't there?
Yeah, but the summary is illegal. At the end of the day, the summary itself is illegal. Sorry?
Have you looked at that?
At the summary itself, no, that there is notice to tell the bailiffs that they've got no right to enter. That's what that is all about.
As you can see, no reverse liability on there whatsoever.
Yeah. Which means that they can't enter in the first place. So explain that to me, mate.
Reverse liability is when where the signature is here, there should be an identifiable name, and that name makes himself or herself liable in reverse, as it were. As they don't print their name there is no reverse liability, so nobody is making themselves responsible for what has gone on today.
Right, I'll get you now, yep. So basically, what the crack is the bailiffs can just move in and then say, right, we've got some paperwork here, you owe X amount of money, without no justifications.
Exactly know what's happened this morning, to be fair. I wasn't here.
Have you not even talked to the people at the house originally?
I've talked to them.
Yeah. I'm sure they've told you the same thing.
They've told us their version of events. I don't know exactly what's happened though.
Yeah. So it's civil. It's a civil matter, isn't it? Is that right? It's a civil matter, isn't it? So why are the police even here in the first place?
He's storing an axe. Either bring the axe back or give her a receipt. You took it from this property, return the receipt to this property. No, listen, you listen to me. I'm your master. You are my servant.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Very good.
Yeah, you're a public servant, aren't you? Are you a public servant, Sergeant? Yes, you are.
Absolutely.
Serve the public, bring the axe box. No violence has been used. Why are you stealing private property? You're here to prevent private property from being harmed, you said. So you've just tore from private property. Get real.
There's been damage caused. It might have been used in the offence, and I've seized it.
So what were you saying 2 minutes ago? You liar! You're a liar!
You see the evidence? Yeah, you see the what? Is evidence against the
You've just
assault?
changed your story to suit your means. You're bent.
I don't know whether it's
Go
been
away,
used.
man.
So have you seized it as evidence, or have you just removed
I've
it?
seized it as evidence, and it's a risk to public safety.
So's that bit of wood. So's that bit of wood down there.
Bagged and tagged and logged and everything as evidence against that or not?
Is it been bagged and tagged, has it?
And it will be suitably dealt with.
No, but is it being suitably dealt with now?
Dealt with, Sergeant.
Sergeant, what's your name, Sergeant? If you don't mind me asking, please.
1796.
1796.
Yes.
And that's it. Well, sorry, what's your name? Peel.
Which
Peel.
station you from?
I'm from Durham Constabulary.
Yeah, you're from Bishop Auckland or where?
Durham Constabulary.
Oh, yeah.
So the crime, well, you're going to arrest your officers committing a crime by backing up the bailiffs then?
They do,
So what actually are you here for now? Why are you stood here now?
To prevent further damage.
Stones out the garden.
So there's been a window broken.
Yeah, what about all these stones, Sergeant?
Yeah.
You know, like you're talking about confiscating things. Why don't you pick up everything here that could be used as a weapon and seize it? Do your job.
Unreasonable.
You're not reasonable. You're irrational.
It wasn't on any person.
You're irrational.
It wasn't removed from any.
And you're a thief.
It wasn't
You've been
taken
caught.
from any man or woman.
Deep down, how do you feel about it, Sergeant, man? How do you really feel about it? You think this is right? You think it's just? Do you think it's just in yourself?
Happy I've seized the axe.
No, I'm on about the house itself. I'm on about
I've just
the
come
eviction
here
order and
afterwards
stuff.
when someone's been breaking in.
Yeah, but I'm asking you about the old process of the eviction order and everything
I've
like
had
that.
nothing to do with that. I've just responded to a call.
Send someone
Someone's been
indifferent.
damaging.
And I've used an axe.
That's why I'm here. And I'm here to prevent further damage.
Let's do it. The Durham Constabulary.
Yeah, nobody responded to 2999 calls.
Are you only doing your job, aren't you? Just like the Nazis were in the Second World War, eh?
I know, but you just...
You know something?
Right?
We
That would be
rang
the Nazis that were
999
home.
and one of your officers rang in to say if you get a 999 from this address to ignore it. And
I don't know anything about that.
But you know
I never know anything about anything.
Yeah, I know about axes,
I
yeah.
don't know anything about anything.
Well,
You just doing that job, man.
You do know now because I've informed you.
Right, well I've taken that
And?
as evidence.
Evidence for
There's
what?
evidence for- I need it so.
And it's also public safety as well.
So if the axe has been, how are you going to...
That's into bloody custody and pat yourself on the back. It was
Because of the
just...
I need my
you
axe back because I am going to light
She
a
chopped
fire
wood.
Right.
to cook my little food because I ain't
Okay.
going anywhere.
Well, unfortunately I've seized it for the time being.
Okay, well I'll get back last night.
I think he's sure
I don't know about that.
I need I've got some hot food.
He's not sure whether
Can we go and seize all your weapons? Because you're
I
carrying
don't
on
think
you.
so.
Swap my axe for that piece
you
of
mean you
brick
don't
because
think
that could
so?
be used the same.
The only thing that's missing on your guys' uniforms is SS, mate. That's it. SS. Even though you didn't take part in the actual eviction itself, you're still backing it up. You're still part of the police force. And this is what the police force are doing to the general public today.
No, there's been no
With no legal paperwork for you to carry through what you're carrying through. You yourselves
from what I've been
are
told,
causing breach of the
There
peace.
has been a court case, and
Still in litigation.
well, they've made a decision. There's potentially,
Which is completely illegal.
well, that's you know
Which is
that's
completely
a court,
illegal.
That's a court.
We
that's a
rely on you
court's
as police
decision.
officers to back this up,
That's a
man,
court's
and look
decision,
through the
you know.
paperwork properly.
That's a
The
court's
policeman's job is to make sure that the paperwork is legal, and it obviously hasn't been looked at, has it, by the police, to send the bailiffs away.
They wouldn't let we check any of the paperwork, you know. We've not seen a warrant at all.
That's disgusting, man.
And the police stood there and let them do it as well. There was
Your assistant is crank.
no due
10,000 members
process
of the
followed
public.
whatsoever from beginning to end with this whole debacle. And they've just facilitated it and assisted the bailiffs. Every single one of them in a uniform and not in a uniform.
It's going to be your turn soon. You know they're privatising the police force, don't you? Like, they're going to get G4S in doing your job, mate. You'll be next. You'll be using your house next when you can't afford to pay your
obviously it's not advised. I believe it's not in your remit of your job is to fall into financial hardship. So what happens when all of you start losing your houses and stuff? If your job cuts that up,
they'll ask the people to support them again, won't they?
Of course they will.
Didn't the police have a protest last year about their wage cuts and stuff like that? And they've been told now that they can't even protest against what's happening to the police force itself with privatisation.
Sometimes monkeys, man, will just take it until the shit hits the fan.
Broken the law.
Then they might do some research and find out what the actual law is.
Are you guys going to be guarding this house now for the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks or something then, is it? Is that what you're going to be doing?
Idea.
Well, as soon as 3 days are
you waiting on the boys coming down and nick everybody?
Taking this property back under lawful means.
Right.
By going in through the roof, causing no damage to the shutters. I'll go in through the roof. I'll remove all the shutters from inside peacefully. As the law says I'm allowed to do. I've done it before. It won't be the first house I've taken back. Because I actually care about the people. I actually give a damn. My grandfather gave his life for the freedom we are actually having now. He gave his life for it. And I value that gift that he gave. I won't disrespect by turning my face away from freedom. I will not submit to the boot of destruction which you're now placing upon this family.
Well said, mate. By the way, well fucking said that. Nice one, mate. Happy days, eh? For you guys. Not very nice for the family that have been evicted, though, eh? Is it? I mean, you know, like, my old man, my grandfather, my great-great-uncle fought in the First World War. People died in the Second War for freedom and democracy, right, yeah? You call this democracy when bailiffs can come in without it being signed properly, court cases illegally been taken, and then police themselves, i.e. the SS, is where what I take you police officers to be, behaving like. You're behaving like the SS, mate.
Right.
You know, the system said you're not having it, and we're here to back the system up rather than the police themselves.
This has gone to a court. The court have decided to repossess the property. That repossession's occurred, and then afterwards we've had a report of someone damaging the property, which is why we're here. So that's why we're here.
Right, okay.
That's it.
Yeah. That's your job. So your colleagues, though, speaking for your colleagues, have helped to facilitate illegal actions by evicting these people without the proper paperwork. And it's just been told, you've just been told it's still under litigation. The court case is still under litigation, which means that the bailiffs have then acted unlawfully. So then the police should be saying, no, it's still under a litigation. You guys as bailiffs have not got the right to seize this house. And you as police officers should be backing the people up to make sure that the paperwork's right. And that's not being done that way, has it, at all?
Well, the court's given the bailiffs the authority. This is what's happened, and we're here for the aftermath.
Yeah, but the courts have acted illegally in the first place.
Well, that's your
if the courts have acted illegally in the first place, sure, it's the policeman's job to uncover that fact. But you don't seem to. Has any of the police force actually looked into the signatures and how things are supposed to be done lawfully and legally?
I haven't, but certainly
you haven't, and you can't even say that.
I've come here because someone's been damaging the property. That's why.
Yeah, I understand you saying that.
Yeah,
I know you're saying that.
Well, what's happened before? That's I've had no involvement in it. I can't answer that question.
There were 3 apparent police dressed in plain.
Passing the buck on. Why don't you as a sergeant look into it yourself?
Yeah.
Why don't you as a sergeant look into it yourself in your private time and see exactly what the law really is on this, instead of police officers coming down and backing up what they don't even know about.
Well, I know about the law about criminal damage, and that's been damaged by that's been removed. That's damaged. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that.
Okay.
I'm talking about illegal evictions and police not doing the job properly and making sure the paperwork is done correctly before the bailiffs move in and seize the house. Would you not be willing to do that off your own back? to see how legal or illegal it actually is? Obviously not now. What about when you go home tonight?
Maybe.
You know, before you get in your nice warm bed?
Maybe.
Kiss your kids good night and all that kind of stuff, like, eh?
Well, do you know that we do have an impact on some of the coppers of there. On the last evictions I was on, I took some paperwork up because he says, well, if you're saying what you're saying's right, son, I'll check it out. I says, well, look at me, I'm not even bothered, you don't even have to check it out. I'll give you the paperwork so you can actually then... how were you, the damage your heart?
Hey, I've got a pregnant lady.
Yeah, go on, sorry, what was you saying?
I give them the paperwork. Hey, decent lads. Some of them are, they're not all Death Eaters, like. Some of them are soulless creatures, and that's the trouble, like. You know, they're just doing the job. Just like that 87-year-old guard who's going on trial for just doing his job.
Yeah, same with like the SS and all the rest of them.
Well, we're going to have a day in court eventually. It's going to happen.
I hope so, mate. I hope it comes all right for you.
I asked the police to verify the paperwork, to take it away and have it checked out. It's not fraud anymore.
You need the what, sorry?
I asked the policeman, Simon Schofield, I asked him to take the paperwork away off the bailiffs and see if it is not a fraud.
And they didn't? They weren't interested?
Well, I'll tell you who it is. People are waking up all
They kept me out, people wouldn't let me back in.
I only came through a few weeks ago and saw the flag.
Policeman's job is to investigate and make sure everything's being done legally and lawfully, isn't it? And he's not doing it.
No, I've never seen any paperwork
so many people are waking up. And
what's your name, by the way? Lilith. Lilith. Good luck to you then. Listen, I've got to go because I've got some work to do this afternoon. I'll pop back in.
At panel commission.
Aye. Nice gathering anyway.
Everybody wants to sit in and take visual.
Because they wrote that letter directly to the government because business leaders wrote a letter saying why a Labour government would be bad for this country. Now your senior officers are starting to get involved in politics. It's going to, in this case, trickle down is going to work because it's going to trickle down through the ranks. We want you on our side. We want you to see where we're coming from. We're sick of being shit on from high. They treat us like shit all the time, and enough's enough. We've had enough. May the 1st down in Nottingham, there is going to be...
What's your political views then?
I'm apolitical. I don't vote. I won't vote. Under the current system, I won't vote. Because what happens at the moment is you vote for any party, that party gets into power. The Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, the money men come down and they go, you'll do this. And they're all acting for the same puppets. They are puppets of the same puppet masters, rather. And we're never going to win unless we start to make a stand. And that's what we're starting to see happening now. People are making a stand. 700 people down in Nottingham outside one chap's house.
Police are here to protect the public, aren't they, at the end of the day? And what they're doing is protecting the corporate people, all the rich people, all the people that who are lying and ripping us off, printing up false paperwork with false signatures on, not filled in properly, and the police aren't even interested in looking it up to make sure that it is all legal and lawful. They're just taking the word of the court that what they've done is legal and lawful because it's a court. The courts don't stand above us as people, and the police are there to protect the people from wrongdoings by the system. But yet the police don't seem to get it at the minute. I hope you do eventually, in starting to look into these things and seeing where signatures should be, and a printed name at the end of the letter. And you know, if there's letters coming from the courts, then it needs to be signed by the judge, and it also needs to be signed by the clerk of the court who witnesses the judge signing it in the first place. That's the law. Now the police are there to make sure the law is carried out correctly. You guys aren't doing it at the minute. You guys are just taking the court's words that what you're seeing as paperwork as being correct, and it isn't. It is not correct, and the police aren't interested at this moment in time in looking into it to see whether it is right or wrong. Guys, you guys need to go home from here, and tonight when you get in, get on the net, look it up. There's official websites that says the whole proceeds that you have to go through, and the signatures that has to be on these bits of paper that aren't on these bits of paper. People's houses are getting seized, people's lives are being taken away from them, and you guys are backing them up. You know, you need police force need to click on. You work for the people, not for the government, you work for the people.
Let's bring it down to something that you use every day. You recognise that?
I do, yeah.
Right, £10 note, yeah? Now what does it say on there? It says, I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £10. Is a promise to pay payment?
I've got my nice new car and I'll park it here and then I'll have no problems. I'll forget about what everybody else is going on in the world.
It's a simple question. Is a promise to pay? If I say if I say, oh, nice radio, I'll give you 50 quid for that, and you say, oh, all right, then you give me that, and I write on a piece of paper, I promise to pay the bearer upon demand the sum of £50,
right,
and give you that piece of paper. Have you been paid?
Not the queen bee.
No, I wouldn't take it as paid.
You mean nothing.
If you just wrote it on a bit of paper and said that, I wouldn't know.
But that's all that is. That's just written on a bit of paper.
I agree, but I dare say you use that money as well, do you, sir? You use that currency?
Yeah, I have to, right, yeah. Well, at the moment,
so
because there's no other way.
So do I.
But this has no value.
I also use another currency.
If I took this to the Bank of England and said, I've come for my £10, what are they going to do? They should be able to give me £10 worth of gold, but they can't, because they've sold all the gold.
Oh, what's that currency that we use now? What's it called?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin you're on about?
No. What does our currency run off again? Is it?
Oh, the fiat currency.
Fiat.
Yes. It's a fiat currency.
Yeah.
That's what we have, and that's what's wrong.
But
The currency has nothing to back it up. But it has nothing to back it up.
I hear what you're saying, but we all use it though, don't we?
Because we're forced to.
So what would you have us do then?
I would have you go in and arrest the bankers. I would have you go in and arrest the politicians. I would have you investigate the fraud properly.
So how would we then deal? Like as normal day-to-day people, how would we pay for things? How would we? What would you put in place?
We would come to arrangements in local communities, probably.
Let me tell you a currency I do, right?
Okay.
See, with some people, right, I'm self-employed, right, but with some people they can't afford to employ me to, they really desperately need the roof fixing, they can't afford to do that. Yeah. I'll swap them something. I'll say, all right, well, pay us £5 a week, or I'll say, right, you do woodwork, make me a wooden fireplace and I'll fix your roof. You know what I mean? It's all about swaps and, you know what I mean, things that are equal in value. Like, you feed me for a month and I'll do 2 weeks worth of work on your house, man, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a different way of doing business, but the way it is these days, people are that skint. That's the way you have to do business with some people at the minute, and it's going more that way because the money market is collapsing. People haven't got money to pay for now these days, man. You guys are lucky you're in a job. These people in the dole, they either have to pay for the electric and gas or eat. They can't do both. It's unaffordable. It's unaffordable for people on the dole now. They've got to do one or the other.
To get to appointment, so they get sanctioned, and then they can't even afford to eat.
Yeah. Well, I was just in London there a couple of days ago. Just come back up from there. Loads and loads of people are now becoming homeless because they've been sanctioned by the dole because they're like 10 minutes late from signing on. How ridiculous is that? So they're starving you to death for 12 weeks at a time because you're late for an appointment, 10 minutes late for an appointment or 5 minutes late for an appointment. What kind of justification, what kind of system and society are we living in today? If this is what our system are doing to the population of the country, starving you to death, having to go out and beg on the streets, making you homeless because of the rules and regulations that the dole are dishing out to people now. And it's all about getting the numbers down of how many people are on the dole. It's no to do with people being fucking naughty and having to be starved because they're 10 minutes late. What kind of society are we living in, man? And then you guys are backing it all up. Making people homeless, which is not your job to do. Your job is to protect us. Your job isn't to protect the corporate businesses and have people made homeless. It's not your job to do that. It's your job to make sure that there's no breach of the peace. But you're facilitating a breach of the peace by doing what you're doing. How? You're making people homeless.
Your officers actually...
This lady's got to sit in a garden of her house and cook her food in a garden. Now you've took the axe of her, she can't chop wood to even feed herself with. And how criminal is that? That's a criminal act in itself. Everybody, every free person in this country have got the right to have a roof over their head, a fire to stay warm and a fire to cook on. You've just took that right away from this lady. Do you know what I mean? So how Nazified is this country becoming?
I wasn't here, was I?
It could have been anything. There's a bit of stick over there, there's stones there that could have broke the window, there's a log there, there's that there, could have busted it, the little lamp.
I just saw the lad.
There could have been, he could have put the window through everywhere, any one of these tools here, Yeah, why come you haven't seized them? You just seized their axe.
I think that was directly below the window, wasn't it?
Does it matter where it was?
I don't know where it was.
It doesn't matter where it was, or it's below the window or what. Is there glass fragments on it? Does it look like it's been used to smash the window?
Didn't seize it, fella. Didn't seize it.
Alright.
I recognise you. Yeah. Are you Spenny lad?
No.
Bishop?
No, I'm not telling you where I am or who I am.
Oh, you came straight. The thing is, you came straight up to me and asked me what my name was, didn't you?
Yeah, because you look the cutest one out of a lot of them, mate.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks,
you look like the beginner. You know, the one that's not been in the job for that long. So I'd like to ask an opinion of someone with a fresher mind.
11 years.
Who hasn't been, who hasn't, you know, been taken over by all this fraud that's going on. And you know, illegal and unlawful acts that you're carrying out today by, you know, evicting people in the first place. You know, a young fresh mind has got a bit more of an open mind.
Judging me on my looks, man, that's the thing.
People judge me on my looks all the time, mate, you know. Jobs are good in life.
Didn't again when you turned up, didn't they?
Right.
I didn't judge you.
Oh yeah, people do.
I mean, you got a camera shoved at us,
Of course, man. Are you going to slap me? Apparently they're going to make it illegal for filming you guys soon, aren't they?
He hasn't shoved it. He hasn't. No. No, you. He was like you with his camera. Didn't like that.
He was close as he was there, so slap his camera going.
Look how far he's away.
Yeah, but he was only there as well. Yes, he was.
Was you assaulted, was you?
Yeah, I was assaulted on film, and the closest my hand got was there.
Yeah.
What's he got none about, man? He's ragged, didn't he?
Well, he's allowed to defend his own body space, but he should have.
Yeah, everybody's allowed to do that
first.
Get outside my bubble.
Yeah. You don't want no one up in your grill, do you?
Yeah, too right, man. Not right up in your grill, no. If you're entering into your own personal space, which is what, a foot around you?
Yeah, something like that.
Is your own personal space? Yeah.
Is this alright for you?
Sorry?
Is this alright to stand here?
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
I want to go have a word with the sergeant again. Anyway, nice to meet you guys, eh? Brilliant job you're doing.
Cheers.
Hey, easy life. Well, this will be on YouTube tonight, innit? Where's the sergeant gone?
At least I know where to find him.
Wonder why he's hiding round here. Look at that. 2 minutes, mate. Are you calling for backup then, boss?
Yes.
People gathered up, hey, anyway.
Yeah.
That's good that you're getting a lot of support in the...
We had more earlier on, actually. There was more here earlier on, but when the first lot of police went, a few of them went, like, but... No, anyway, we had about 70 here in January.
Like we're going to get any sense out of the sergeant, mate. He's trying his hardest to avoid us. Easy Life YouTube over and out. Until next time.